This thing, let's stop this both sides stuff.
It's a bunch, yeah.
Because it's not correct. Right. It is not both sides. It is one clear side. And you can point to many, many reports. You can point to all kinds of stuff that's been reported. You guys have to pull it back. This is not us or them. This is you got to stop doing what you're doing, JD, and what you're doing, Mr. T, because you are not helping the situation. Well, the Supreme Court won't hear oral arguments until the end of April. Now, let's look at a scenario where the Supreme Court says, yes, he has all those rights. He is immune from everything.
Yeah.
You know what Joe Biden could do since he is presently president?
What?
Whoa. He could throw every Republican in jail. Yeah. I mean, he could.
Only a day after the second assassination attempt on President Trump, just like everything else that these hypocrites keep proclaiming has gone wrong in our country, even though they've had control of the government 12 of the last 16 years, it's Trump's fault. They won't take any accountability. They won't take any responsibility. And by the way, this is the same station that puts these witches on national television that had moderators David Muir and Lindsay, whatever the hell her name is, I could care less, sorority sister Kamala Harris, engage in what I call unequivocally election interference. It's Donald Trump's fault that two deranged lunatics who have been proven to be Biden-Harris supporters, even though they say they're Trump supporters, and he had it coming, two deranged lunatics who are from the far extreme left, easily impressionable, have been swallowing this sewage that the woke media has been spewing out to the public, and all these politicians have been lying. I mean, how many times have you heard Project 2025? He's disavowed that a million times. How many times have you mentioned Charlottesville, another hoax? How many times have they mentioned Haitian immigrants destroying Springfield and denying that fact? Completely, it's been confirmed by actual residents. It's been confirmed by actual constituents. How many times have you heard about this border bill that supposedly it was Trump's fault, even though it wasn't a border bill? It should have been called the Ukraine bill because it allotted a disproportionate amount of funding towards Ukraine and only a pittance to the border. They just lie after lie. And on top of that, they keep saying things like this.
Just to clarify, so you're saying that the president and vice president believe that former President Donald Trump should be toning down his rhetoric?
So I'll say this. President Biden has been clear-eyed about the threat that the former president represents to our democracy. He's been clear-eyed about that.
It's just unbelievable that these people keep getting away with this. It's almost as if it's intentional. It's almost as if this is their plan. It's almost as if they're trying to get him killed. Dare I say that before the FBI starts to show up at my front door. So the whole hoopla about lowering the temperature, the whole hoopla about it's on both sides is complete fabrication. It's complete BS. Because nobody on the other side dares ever say things like Hitler, Mussolini, threat to democracy. You know, you had Representative Goldman, that piece of garbage, say Trump need to be, quote, eliminated. You have this pseudo artificial charlatan organization called the Lincoln Project, which I don't even want to associate one of the greatest presidents that we've ever had to that absolute vile, reprehensible organization. He literally said that President Trump needs to have a bullet in him. Literally said that. No, it's Trump's fault. But no, it's the conservatives. It's the MAGA people who are the extremists. We're the ones fomenting violence. We're the ones stoking the fires of division. We're the ones that are using this violent rhetoric, as worthless Whoopi Goldberg said at the top of the video. I'm going to share with you a video of a C-SPAN journalist cutting off a Democrat who called in on this show, and wait till you hear what this Democrat who called in said. It's just going to blow your mind. But first, I shared with you the clip of White House Press Secretary Karine Jean-Pierre saying again completely tripling down on Trump being a threat to democracy in front of the whole entire world, which is, to me, the closest thing to treason that you can commit, in my opinion. After this man has been attacked, after this man's life has been threatened, after this man literally had 2 assassination attempts in less than 2 months, you're not even going to wait 24 hours to omit this awful, inflammatory, inciting rhetoric? And he's the violent one, he's the threat to democracy? Watch as Peter Doocy from Fox News confronts Karine Jean-Pierre, the White House press secretary, with the same question that every single reporter should be asking this administration. Watch her reaction. This is unbelievable.
2 days since somebody allegedly tried to kill Donald Trump again. And you're here at the podium in the White House briefing room calling him a threat. How many more assassination attempts on Donald Trump until the president and the vice president and you pick a different word to describe Trump other than threat?
Peter,
I mean, that's a credible question. That's it. And I don't think that he was being obtuse or sarcastic or trying to bait her or entrap her or being malicious. I mean, that to me is a very honest question. Watch this.
anything from this administration, I actually completely disagree with the premise of your question, the question that you're asking. It is also incredibly dangerous in the way that you're asking it, because American people are watching. And to say that from an administration who has consistently condemned political violence, from an administration where the president called the former president and was thankful, grateful that he was okay, from an administration who has called out January 6th, called out the attack of Paul Pelosi, called out and said we need to lower the temperature after the Butler incident.
But you're not doing it.
And now
that's
for
the
you
point.
to make that kind of comment in your question, because your question involved a comment and a statement.
What the hell is she wearing, too?
And, it is, that is also incredibly dangerous.
I'm not really, I'll be quite honest with you, 100% upfront. I have no idea what she just said there. Did any of that make any sense? It's kind of akin to listening to Lioness Kamala go off on her very bizarre, strange, rabbit hole, middle class, I was raised, this, that, word salad, nothingnesses that she constantly talks about. I mean, I don't even know what that means. He asked a very simple question. You even admitted that your own vegetable-in-chief president has asked you to lower the temperature, but you're still using the same exact language that is inciting these hooligans, these lunatics, to commit these heinous acts that you supposedly are opposed to and condemn. Make it make sense. And then we have good old-fashioned, washed up, has-been, loser, bitter, wretched woman, Hillary Clinton. Why on earth the liberals think that bringing her out and putting her in front of a camera is a really good idea? That where her approval rating is almost as bad as Kamala Harris's? Does anybody even like Hillary Clinton? Does anybody even take what she has to say seriously? This is so important to listen to because she, without mincing words, literally calls upon Americans to continue to inflame the rhetoric that has caused these violent people to commit these violent acts. Listen to this.
And sadly, the press is still not able to cover Trump the way that they should. They careen from one outrage to the next. What was outrageous 3 days ago is no longer on the front pages, even though it threatens the physical safety of so many people, particularly, as you point out, immigrants that he and Vance have decided to demonize. And I don't understand why it's so difficult for the press to have a consistent narrative about how dangerous Trump is.
Because
The
they
late,
just tried to
great
kill him.
journalist Harry Evans,
You evil witch.
one time said that, journalists should, really try to achieve objectivity. And by that, he said, I mean, they should cover the object. Well, the object in this case is Donald Trump, his demagoguery, his danger to our country and the world, and stick with it. He has said what he wants to do. He and his allies with Project 2025, his desire to be a dictator, at least on day one, all of that is in the public record. I do think more and more Americans are rejecting the kind of chaos that he represents. We can't go back. That's what the Harris campaign says all the time. We're not going back. We're not going back to
We're not going back
what
to your
he
crappy
failed to
policies
do
that
to
led us
protect
here.
American lives during COVID. We're not going back to the, romance with dictators that puts, innocent lives at risk and America's security in danger. We can't go back and give this very dangerous man another chance to do harm to our country and the world.
Speaking of dictators,
I don't usually attribute this adjective to many people, and I don't use this lightly when I say Hillary Clinton is evil. That was an interview she did on Rachel Maddow's show literally less than 24 hours after the second assassination attempt on President Trump. It's all Trump's fault. Everything is Trump's fault. You've had control of the government for 12 of the last 16 years. You've had control of the media for God knows how long, way longer than that. You've had control of the propagandist machine, the apparatus that pollutes the airways, highways, byways, television frequencies, etc., etc. Almost every screen imaginable. You control Meta. You control some of the biggest social media platforms in existence. And yet it's Trump's fault. Again, I don't use that adjective lightly, but I truly believe Hillary Clinton is evil. So here is the video that you have to listen to this, where a caller calls in this C-SPAN show, and he is immediately cut off because of this. Listen to this.
Willie, Democrat, good morning.
Good morning. I just want to say I'm a very patriotic American. I did 20 years in the military, 2 tours in Vietnam, wounded in 1966, went back in 68. And I look at myself and think about, we were supposed, as a military man, we're supposed to close, kill, capture, destroy the enemy by all means available. And to see we let this man Trump destroy America, and I look at it and say, well, these two people had to step up and take that shot. I'm 83, nothing to lose.
I'm sorry, Willie, you're not advocating violence, are you?
Not violence. I'm talking about defending my country.
All right. Dan, in Louisville, Kentucky.
You saw that C-SPAN cut him off immediately. He was praising the two assassins who attempted to take President Trump's life. He was praising those two guys, and he's a veteran. And did you hear the language? Much like the similar thread between the language of Crooks, the language of this other guy, I don't even want to mention his name, when he said that democracy is on the ballot, which is one of the mantras of the liberal campaign and Kamala's campaign and Biden's campaign, and Hillary Clinton has parroted these words as well. He says, I'm defending my country. He says, Trump has destroyed my country. Where? How? What? Who? There's no way in a million years anybody can have that impression of Trump without the aid of what I've called time and time again the most powerful force in the universe, propaganda. Because it's just absurdly, hyperbolically not true. We had the most prosperous economy. We had world respect. We had a foothold in the world where other major leaders, some of these nefarious leaders, backed down. They were like, they stood back in awe. So Trump put us in a geopolitical standing that was one that Reagan put us on, where we had respect in the world again. You think they respect Kamala? You think they respect the vegetable in chief Biden? That's why we have chaos. We're on the brink of World War III. We've got chaos in the Middle East, which hasn't seen that kind of chaos since the Holocaust. And we've got now we've got Putin threatening nuclear attacks. We had the lowest interest rates. Gas was affordable. Foods, goods, services, groceries were affordable. My taxes were affordable. Everybody was prosperous. So the only way that this veteran, which I don't know, I have no idea who that person was. They just called in, or if this was planned or staged, you tell me. The only way, but he's really symbolic. It's really a metaphor for the consequences of Hillary, the woke mafia media, Kamala, Biden. It's a consequence of this apparatus, which is a very dangerous, election interfering, treasonous, strong, fortified propagandist machine. The only way that gentleman who called in could have gotten that impression is because of the consequence of that machine, because everything he said, that he destroyed my country, Trump destroyed my country, I praise these two lunatics who tried to take his life, and he equates that with defending his country, because you could hear the guy say, are you condoning violence? Are you No, not violence. I'm condoning defending my country. To actually ascribe the two assassination attempts on a former president and highly likely future president as defending my country is, my fellow Americans, Nez Nation, ladies and gentlemen, the danger and power of propaganda. He was already in office for 4 years. And let me know in the comments, because I'll tell you right now, but I want to hear from you. I was thriving when he was president. I was doing wonderfully. I was prospering in literally every facet of my life. How about you? Let me know in the comments down below. I throw this off to you as well. I want to know what you think of this. What do you think of all of these unbelievable people who are, in the administration, in media, who are perpetuating this insanely dangerous election interference, insightful rhetoric? What do you think of that? Let me know in the comments down below. I can't wait to hear from you. As always, if you made it this far, sign up for our free newsletter. It's in the pinned comment, show notes, and description. It's literally your insurance policy of never missing out on all the latest that we put out that the woke mafia won't share with you. And it's free. Just sign up. Takes you a second. Click on that link. Give us your best email. Bada boom, bada bing, you're in. Check out these videos coming up on the screen right here. Subscribe, follow over there. And as always, God bless you. God bless President Trump. And God bless America. I'll see you soon.